I'm gonna just open this up by saying I know that there are a ton of things that can factor into weight. Diet and exercise are of course one of them, but I wanted to just list a couple of things here that, maybe aren't as part of the conversation as much as they should be when dealing with things like how do I get rid of excess weight, or how do I put on more weight than I'm currently holding if I would like to put on weight. So the first concept here is toxins. So if your body is very toxic, if it has a buildup of toxins, it makes it very, very difficult for your body to eliminate excess weight. Toxins are, typically speaking, your body sees them as a danger, and your body wants to protect itself. So what it does is it holds on to excess fat so that it can form a quote unquote barrier between you and the toxins that are within your body, so that basically it's protecting you from these toxins that you're holding within. Now, everyone has a certain level of toxins in their system at a given time, and that's completely normal. And that's the joy of eliminating waste, through bowel movements, etc. Your body is releasing those toxins. Things like sweat can also help with eliminating toxins as well. So it's really important to make sure that if you do have toxin buildup, especially like if you have a heavy metal buildup, if you have very high levels of heavy metals in your system and your body can't get rid of them, it's very, very likely that your body is going to hold on to some kind of excess fat more than what it needs to or naturally biologically wants to, because it's trying to protect you. Second thing that can affect your weight is your hormones. There's a bunch of different things to look at. So male and female hormones, are those optimal? Are you premenopausal, postmenopausal? Where are you if you're a woman? If you're a man, are you also in balance? Regardless of your age, you have to make sure your male and your female hormones are in the correct balance that's right for your body. If it's not, then there's a chance that your body's, again, not going to do what you want it to in terms of your weight. Other things to consider with hormones are your stress hormones. If you are constantly activating that sympathetic nervous system, that's your fight or flight system, your body's going to be holding on to fat because it's, again, trying to protect you. A stress response causes the body to hold on to things that it thinks is going to protect you and eliminate things that it thinks will not protect you. And this is especially prevalent at the time of when you're eating. If you're eating while you're under stress, the way your body responds to that food is actually very different than how your body would respond to it if you ate a meal and you were not under severe levels of stress. So if you are religious or spiritual, prayer is an excellent way, or meditation, doing something, 5 minutes before eating just to kind of settle your mind and settle your body, a really, really spectacular way to kind of bring yourself back into that parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest. If you are not spiritual, religious, etc., then just take a minute to do some breath work. The third thing that can help with your weight regulation, and this sort of relates indirectly to what I had just mentioned with sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, is the concept of sleep. Sleep is so very important for your body's ability to, again, recover anything that you have utilized throughout the day, replenish your stores, and also, again, making sure that your body is just in general in homeostasis. If you're only sleeping 2-3 hours a night, your circadian rhythm is thrown off, your body's processes are thrown off, the whole thing is thrown off. And so if you want to see results with what you're trying to do with as far as your weight is concerned, sleep is an extremely important component of that puzzle. Ugh, this is so uncomfortable. The fourth thing that can affect your body's ability to get rid of weight or to put on weight is the concept of emotions. Anything that you are holding on to that is repressed, if you are not dealing with it, I've seen it time and time again, it can show up in your weight. This gets into some really, really difficult territory for a lot of people, but if you are holding on to some kind of guilt or anger or frustration, it is very possible that your body is still somewhere being signaled that it's either in danger or something is not right, and it needs to do everything possible to keep you safe. And again, it's going to be holding on to excess weight or getting in the way of your body's ability to put on weight because it says, we need to minimize, blah, 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 blah. So you have to make sure that you're addressing the things internally within you that can actually affect how it's coming out in your body. This leads us into the fifth thing, which is traumas. Very closely tied to emotions, but if you have traumas from your past, again, these may be repressed. You may be dealing with these right now, and if you are, more power to you. Keep going. Very important that you keep going with that. But traumas can present themselves in the form of weight gain, especially as something that I've seen in a lot of women that I've worked with personally. And it's not to say that it will for you, but it is something to keep in mind and to consider. The sixth thing that can affect your body's ability to regulate your weight is the balance that your body has between all of its nutrients. This is where I'm gonna kind of punch in a little bit of my own personal beliefs. The way I see it, everything has a season. So there are some seasons when you're going to be more proactive than others. And this can, go down to weeks, especially for women, as cycles go by, you're going to notice changes occurring, and you do have to notice that, respect that, honor that, and utilize that in whatever way you can to help propel yourself into the person that you are meant to be. So again, this is very, very broad, but having balance in your life in general, as in your nutrition, in your lifestyle, in your work, in your sleep, in your training, and everything, balance is very, very key and very important to making sure that, your whole lifestyle is conducive to what you'd like for it to be. The seventh thing that can impact your weight is blood sugars. This one is probably the most closely related to diet out of everything here. But it is something to be mindful of, because you can have a great diet now, but if your blood sugars are not optimal, then you're probably going to see some issues coming up as well. I'll give you a personal example. I was vegan for about 3 years, which for a lot of reasons was very good for me, and for a lot of reasons was very challenging for me. And so I was eating a lot of carbohydrates to get the fuel that I needed, because I was also training pretty hard and working quite a bit. All in all, the way that this ended up coming out in my blood work was that I had moderately elevated blood sugars, at least, higher than what you would expect for a young woman in her early 20s. So I would get very, very hungry out of nowhere, and it would be onset like that. It would be super quick, and I'd be like, oh, I'm hungry, I need to eat. And within, an hour of feeling hungry, if I didn't eat, I would get lightheaded, I would feel like I was gonna pass out, etc. If you are especially trying to lose weight and you say, okay, well, I'm gonna go on this diet, but your body's not losing the weight, that is one thing to look into is, do I have well-regulated blood sugars? Because it's possible that your body is relying on sugar for fuel as opposed to fat. So what it's going to do instead is break down your muscles and utilize the glycogen stores that you have for fuel instead. For me personally, I found that doing a keto/paleo diet was really, really helpful, just because I was getting more healthy fats into my system, and my body was starting to recognize, oh, fat is a good source for fuel. And I also experimented with intermittent fasting and found a lot of good luck with that as well. Eighth thing that can help you with making sure that your weight is where you'd like for it to be aware of your medications. Please keep in mind that weight gain can be a side effect of a lot of medications. If you want to have a conversation with your doctor about it, feel free to do so. I personally would highly encourage that, but again, it is your life, it is your choice. I just think that that's something to definitely be very aware of if you're noticing that you're struggling with your weight. And this brings us to the final point that I have here today. Number 9, your beliefs, okay? Your beliefs are so powerful. If you do all of this, but internally you have this huge, I don't think it's possible for me to lose this weight, or I don't think it's possible for me to gain this weight no matter what I do, I would highly encourage you to look into why it is that you believe that and try to change your subconscious beliefs. And you can do that with a therapist, you can try to do that with hypnosis, with writing, with meditation, whatever works for you. Your body is designed to be as healthy as possible. It's not trying to sabotage you, it's trying to protect you. So to recap, the 9 things that I think can also be influencing your weight, whether it's weight gain, weight loss, weight stagnation, wherever you're at, are toxic buildup and toxins in your system. Hormones, what are your hormones doing? Sleep, are you getting enough rest so that your body can actually recover the way it needs to? Emotions, what are your emotions doing? Are you stressed all the time? Are you relaxed all the time? Do you have a good balance? Traumas, are there any emotions that are deep-seated that have been bothering you for a very long time that you were leaving unaddressed that really need to be pushed through? 6th thing would be balance. Make sure you've got balance in your life, in everything. Mind state, activities, sleep, movement. Your body is not designed to be under crazy loads of stress all the time. It's also not designed to sit around and do nothing all the time. So find your balance. Blood sugars, making sure that you have well-regulated blood sugars. Get your blood work done. Make sure that there's nothing funky going on there, and that's going to show you a lot more than just your blood sugars, but that is a good place to start. Medications, make sure that any medications that you are taking are not possibly causing your weight gain. And then the 9th thing, the final thing, is your beliefs. What are your beliefs? Your body wants to work with you, not against you. and you just got to offer the same thing back. Work with your body. You just need to understand it so you can find the ways to do that. I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Please follow, like, comment, subscribe, yada, 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 all that stuff. I post new videos every single week. It's been a pleasure, and bless you all. Thank you.